All right, Aries, let's get into your reading. A heavy pulse is pressing on this table, and it does not feel ordinary at all. These cards dropped with real authority, and something sacred was moving before I even arrived. Two energies are being pulled closer together, and neither one can resist what is happening now. This person keeps surfacing in every card, and the universe is being bold about this truth today. A deep shift took place between you two, and the timing behind it was chosen very carefully here. God is putting you and this person together, and it is time for this miracle to finally land. That truth was confirmed across this spread, and I need you to absorb what was revealed for you. The weight behind this message is undeniable, and every card echoed it without hesitation at all. Something ancient stirred between you two, and the cards can barely hold that vibration inside them. I feel it pressing through my hands, and what this spread holds is a certainty I rarely touch. A current was building underneath this quietly, and it formed long before you ever found me here. This connection was never random or misplaced, and the cards confirmed that with a force I sensed. The pull between you and this person grows, and the cards laid that truth out without any hesitation. The first card is the Ace of Cups, and it arrived on this table carrying emotional confirmation. The Ace of Cups confirms a new emotional beginning, and it was written into your path without warning. This is not old love in disguise. This is raw and untouched energy flowing directly toward you now. It tells me your bond has sacred roots, and those roots stretch deeper than logic will ever explain. The pull inside this card feels like a vault cracking, and what lived inside was destined for you. No hesitation lives inside this card, and that total absence of doubt shifts everything around it. Your heart knew this person before your mind caught up, and the Ace of Cups confirms that fully. A softness wraps around this card, and it tells me this love was always waiting for its moment. The Ace tells me this bond survived invisible tests, and you never even realized it was happening. Your next card is the Four of Wands, and it dropped beside the first with grounding, calm energy. The Four of Wands says celebration is forming, and this union was never built to stay hidden away. It plants a firm foundation beneath your bond, and the ground under you both is not going anywhere. This card holds a promise, and that promise says your bond was built to outlast every coming storm. You already sense that stability forming quietly, and every thought of this person confirms it deeper. The warmth inside this card was not borrowed, and it was placed here with unmistakable, real intention. Nothing shallow survives this kind of placement, and this reading says your bond is absolute bedrock. You deserve a love that holds firm without question, and this card says that love is forming now. The last card here is the Lovers, and it arrived at the center without 1 second of doubt. The Lovers confirms this was divinely aligned, not built from coincidence or any passing feeling here. It tells me the thread between you two was woven before either of you grasped its deeper purpose. All three cards face the same direction, and that path leads where you and this person finally connect. This miracle carries its own pulse, and nothing in this reading says it can be reversed or slowed. The distance still between you has a deadline, and the cards say that window is closing very fast. You were guided to this reading today, and the fact you are sitting here is confirmation by itself. This shift may arrive softly or crash through, but it is already moving, and the cards are locked. A certainty lives in this spread I rarely feel, and your miracle is already breathing close to you. The cards hold more beneath this, and I need to take you much deeper into what is waiting. Stay with me closely for what comes next, because what is moving through carries even more weight. The cards shifted their weight toward you, and what I see now is about your inner world entirely. You have been carrying something heavy in your chest, and you told no one what lives in there. A quiet exhaustion lives behind your smile, and it has been building longer than you will admit. You keep showing up for everything around you, and nobody notices what that devotion actually costs. The doubt inside you is not subtle at all, and you feel it strongest when everything goes still. You wonder whether what you sense is real, and that question loops through your mind without mercy. Late at night, the feeling gets louder, and you replay moments that never fully resolved inside you. You hold composure during the day, and then everything buried rises the moment you are finally alone. Your chest tightens at random moments, and you cannot always explain what triggered that sudden wave. The first card for you is the Nine of Wands, and it came through carrying recognition and weight. The Nine of Wands says your walls were built from lived experience, and none of them were weakness. Every brick was placed by a lesson you survived, and the cards honor each battle that shaped you. You did not wake up guarded for no reason, and your caution was earned through painful experience. Underneath that armor lives a tenderness you protect, and you refuse to expose it to anyone careless. Part of you wonders if staying open is even safe, and that question repeats inside you constantly. You ask yourself if love should feel this uncertain, and no answer ever settled your spirit fully. The Nine of Wands says your strength was never performance, and your resilience runs deeper than bone. You held yourself together when no one watched, and that quiet endurance left marks only you can feel. Your ability to keep standing after everything is not luck, and these cards recognize that about you. That endurance shaped who you are today, and the Nine of Wands says it was never for nothing. The next card is the Moon, and it arrived holding everything you feel but cannot name out loud. The Moon says your intuition grew louder recently, and you keep sensing shifts before they fully form. You dream about changes arriving, and then you wake and convince yourself it meant nothing at all. That cycle between believing and doubting became your rhythm, and it dreams you more than you show. The Moon confirms your instincts were accurate each time, and the cards want you to honor that now. You are not imagining what you feel inside. and you are not reading into something that is hollow. Your body holds the answer your mind resists, and the moon says to stop overriding that deep signal. Your gut pulled you in one direction quietly, and you kept choosing logic over instinct out of fear. That fear did not arrive from nowhere, and the cards see why you learned to doubt yourself. Every wound taught you to question yourself first, and the moon sees exactly how deep that pattern runs. The last card for you is the Star, and it landed with a softness that nearly stopped me. The Star says hope never left you, and even at your lowest, a quiet flame kept burning inside. You tried to release this feeling many times, and every time something invisible pulled you right back. That pull was never desperation, and the Star confirms it was your higher self refusing to let go. Your patience was not wasted at all, and your waiting held a purpose you could not yet understand. The doubt you carried never dissolved what you felt, and the Star says your faith was placed correctly. Every question you buried has an answer forming, and it sits closer than you would dare to believe. Your emotional depth is rare and noticed, and the Star wants you to stop doubting that gift. You walked through seasons that would break most, and yet you are still here with your heart intact. The Star poured healing across this entire spread, and it confirmed that your next chapter begins from strength. What follows moves away from your side of this and enters ground that will shift your entire view. A different presence stepped forward in this spread, and it belongs entirely to the other side now. This person has been carrying something heavy, and they refused to let a single soul witness it. They hold a weight behind their silence, and it grew heavier each day they chose to stay quiet. On the surface, they appear composed and steady, and underneath, everything is quietly coming undone. They built a functioning version of themselves, and that version hides how deeply they truly feel inside. Nobody around them suspects what is happening, and they prefer it that way because vulnerability scares them. Their silence was never cruelty or indifference, and the cards confirm it was a shield against exposure. They convinced themselves that distance was protection, and that lie became the foundation they stood upon. The first card is the Knight of Cups, and it arrived for their side carrying heavy emotional motion. The Knight of Cups says they move toward a feeling, and that feeling carries your energy across it. They think about you far more than they admit, and those thoughts grow louder with each passing week. This card confirms they are not standing still, and their heart already travels in your exact direction. They rehearse conversations with you in their head, and none of those words ever reached the surface. Their fear of rejection overrides desire constantly, and that inner battle plays out every single day. They changed in ways nobody noticed, and that shift was triggered entirely by what they felt near you. Your presence cracked them open unexpectedly, and they have been trying to seal that wound ever since. They remember small details about you that surprised them, and those memories refuse to fade with time. The Knight does not arrive for casual interest, and its placement confirms a deep and real pursuit forming. The feelings they carry survived every attempt to bury them, and the cards confirm they only deepened. They asked themselves why you stayed in their mind, and no answer ever removed your presence from it. They lost sleep over you more than once, and those restless nights left marks they never spoke about. The next card is the Six of Swords, and it confirms a painful chapter finally ending for them. The Six of Swords says they leave old patterns, and that departure cost them far more than comfort. They carried guilt from past choices quietly, and that guilt shaped how they handled closeness ever since. This card shows them crossing into new territory, and the direction they chose points straight toward you. They are not the same version of themselves, and the change happened quietly when nobody was watching them. The Six of Swords confirms they dropped the mask, and what remains underneath is raw and fully unguarded. That old identity kept them safe but trapped, and releasing it cost them more than you know. Their feelings survived that entire transition, and the cards say those feelings only grew stronger through it. The journey they walked alone reshaped them completely, and what emerged is more open than they were before. What you sense between you and them is confirmed, and the mirror between both sides is undeniable now. The last card is the King of Pentacles, and it dropped with grounded and deeply serious authority here. The King of Pentacles says they want to build real, and temporary was never their intention involving you. They see you as worth protecting and providing for, and that vision formed long before they ever spoke. This card confirms they prepare in ways you cannot see, and those quiet preparations carry your name. They want to arrive in your life correctly, and that desire to do it right slowed them down. The King of Pentacles never moves on impulse, and their patience was never confusion or disinterest here. They held back because readiness mattered deeply, and ready means arriving with something solid to offer. The King confirms their commitment runs deep inside, and what they feel for you shaped every quiet decision. What comes next reveals the action behind this, and the cards say real movement is closer than breath. The spread just accelerated hard, and what I see forming around this reading is pure forward motion. This person is done sitting with what they feel, and a decision was already made inside their chest. They crossed an internal line that cannot be undone, and the cards say that shift changed everything. Movement is no longer a distant possibility, and the cards confirmed it became an inevitability for them. Something locked into place inside them recently, and that lock snapped shut with finality behind it. They stopped debating whether to act, and that argument ended with a clear and permanent final answer. The shift inside them was not gradual, and it arrived with force that left no room for reversal. The hesitation that held them for months dissolved, and what replaced it is a focused and quiet resolve. The first card is the Eight of Wands, and it landed with speed that caught me off guard. The Eight of Wands says communication arrives fast, and the silence between you two is about to break. A message or gesture forms behind the scenes, and it will reach you sooner than you are expecting. This card never arrives without swift external action, and what it carries has real urgency behind it. The Eight of Wands moved through this spread like a signal, and what it announced cannot be undone. The Eight of Wands confirms all delays are finished, and what was frozen now rushes straight toward you. You may hear from them when you least expect it, and that contact will carry undeniable emotional weight. The speed behind this card is not reckless, and their move was considered with serious and real thought. They waited until the pressure became unbearable, and now that dam is breaking wide open for good. Their body could no longer hold what their mind suppressed, and the overflow is what drives this action. Something they encountered recently triggered the final push, and their last hesitation dissolved with it. The Eight of Wands confirms the first visible step lands soon, and it arrives with total certainty. Their timing will catch you off guard, and the certainty behind it will speak louder than any words. This is not a tentative reach or halfway gesture, and the cards confirm full commitment behind this. Every card in this section points in the same direction, and that direction is straight toward your door. The next card is the Two of Wands, and it arrived showing a plan mapped out in silence. The Two of Wands says they are not acting blindly, and their approach was built with genuine care. They watched for the right moment to step forward, and the cards say that moment arrives very soon. Their patience was strategic and not passive, and the Two of Wands confirms they planned every single detail. This card holds a vision, and that vision includes you beside them in what they are quietly building. The Two of Wands confirms they see a future, and they already began walking in that exact direction. Their next move carries the full weight of intention, and nothing about it was left to chance. They are done with distance and with pretending, and the Two of Wands says that chapter closed fully. What replaces that distance is action with roots, and the cards confirm those roots were planted long ago. The action forming around this card is deliberate, and nothing about their approach will feel uncertain. They've rehearsed this step inside their mind many times, and now the rehearsal period is completely over. The version of them that held back is gone, and what replaced it is ready and fully decided. What they prepared is not vague, and the cards say what arrives will feel grounded and undeniably real. You will sense the difference the moment it lands, and that difference is the absence of all games. Their action carries a maturity the old version lacked, and that growth is what makes this time different. The countdown behind their action already hit 0, and what follows will not wait for any permission. What comes next enters the hidden territory they buried, and the cards say their confession is overdue. The cards dropped into a hidden layer, and what lives here is raw and buried very deep. This person holds confessions they never released, and those words press against their ribs every day. They buried their feelings so deep inside that even they forgot where the burial happened within them. What I see is not surface emotion, and the cards pulled back a curtain they never wanted open. The first card is the Queen of Cups reversed, and it arrived trembling with everything they swallowed. The Queen of Cups reversed says they shut down, and that shutdown was survival and not indifference. They closed off the part that felt too much, and that closure happened because you overwhelmed them. The depth of what they felt for you frightened them, and they chose numbness over being seen. You reached a place nobody else had accessed, and that terrified them more than they will ever confess. The confession inside this card is simple, and it says they fell for you harder than they planned. They did not expect you to matter this deeply, and that surprise broke everything they thought they controlled. They tried to rationalize what they felt as temporary, and every attempt to minimize it failed completely. The Queen reversed confirms they cried over you alone, and nobody in their world ever witnessed those tears. They replayed your words on repeat inside their head, and certain phrases you said left permanent marks. Your voice lives in their memory in ways they cannot erase, and they stopped trying to remove it. Their chest tightens when your name crosses their mind, and that physical response cannot be controlled. Their hands remember what it felt like near you, and that sensation returns uninvited at the quietest moments. You are not crazy for what you sensed, and the cards say your intuition was right all along. Their silence was never proof they stopped feeling, and the Queen reversed says the opposite is true. They swallowed words meant for you on multiple occasions, and each time it burned going back down. The heaviest confession never made it past their throat, and it sits there, still waiting for its release. The next card is the Five of Cups reversed, and it arrived carrying a confession about real regret. The Five of Cups reversed says they regret how they handled you, and that regret outweighs their pride. They know they missed moments that mattered with you, and that awareness haunts them more than they show. They wish they had spoken sooner and more honestly, and that wish repeats inside them without relief. The regret they carry is not shallow, and it reshaped how they approach every future choice now. The confession inside this card says they chose fear over truth, and they punished themselves for it. They protected their ego over their heart, and now that heart refuses to let them move on. The Five reversed confirms they turned back toward what they lost, and what they lost was you entirely. They do not want a replacement and never searched, and the cards say nobody else compared to you. Every connection after you felt hollow inside them, and that emptiness confirmed what they already feared. They compared every face to yours without meaning to, and nobody measured up to what you gave. They whispered your name into silence more than once, and those whispers carried more honesty than words. The deepest confession in this spread is that they need you, and that need terrifies them beyond reason. They built their identity around independence, and you made that identity crack without even trying hard. Needing you felt like losing control for them, and they fought that feeling with everything they had. The war between pride and heart lasted months, and the heart won despite every defense they built. But the fight ended, and they know it fully, and what remains is surrender they cannot disguise anymore. Their body reacts to your memory without permission, and that involuntary response is the truest confession. What comes next closes this reading with full clarity, and the cards say your miracle lands very soon. The final stretch of this reading carries the most weight, and I need you fully present for this. The first card is the Ten of Cups, and it arrived for your near future with deep confirmation. The Ten of Cups says emotional fulfillment is not a distant dream, and it forms around you soon. This card confirms a union that brings lasting emotional peace, and the happiness it holds feels unshakably permanent. What arrives for you is not temporary comfort, and the Ten of Cups says it reshapes your world. You and this person reach a point of alignment, and that moment carries the weight of something complete. The near future holds a conversation that shifts everything, and the words exchanged will settle lingering wounds. That exchange arrives without force or pressure, and it flows with the ease of two souls finally exhaling. The reunion forming in your near future is not fragile, and it carries roots that will hold firm. The Ten of Cups confirms what you prayed for, and it already takes shape in your reality now. You will feel it in your chest before your eyes see it, and that knowing is your sign. The next card is the Hierophant, and it arrived as your advice card with grounded spiritual clarity. The Hierophant says, trust the process even when it frustrates you, and let divine timing lead from here. Your role now is not to chase or control, and the Hierophant says stillness draws it closer. Do not rush what is already moving, and do not force a door that unlocks on its own. Your patience brought you here, and the Hierophant says that same patience carries you across the finish. Stay grounded in your worth when this miracle arrives, and do not shrink because you earned every part. The advice asks you to remain open and to receive, and to do so without guilt or second guessing. The Hierophant confirms that spiritual alignment brought you this reading, and your faith was never misplaced at all. When the miracle lands, you will recognize it, and that recognition will feel like finally coming home. Now let me bring the full message together, because every card in this reading confirmed one single truth. The message was that God puts you and this person together, and it is time for your miracle. The Ace of Cups opened with a new beginning, and the Four of Wands grounded it with stability. The Lovers confirmed divine alignment, and the Nine of Wands honored every wall you built for survival. The Moon validated your intuition in full, and the Star kept quiet hope alive when everything felt uncertain. The Knight of Cups showed their heart moving, and the Six of Swords confirmed they released their past. The King of Pentacles proved they build real, and the Eight of Wands said fast action arrives now. The Two of Wands showed a plan mapped in silence, and the Queen reversed exposed buried confessions. The Hierophant advised patience and trust, and the Ten of Cups confirmed fulfillment arriving in your near future. The Five reversed confirmed their regret, and the Ten of Cups sealed your near future with lasting peace. Every card in this reading pointed at the same conclusion, and that conclusion is your miracle arriving now. Not one card contradicted this message, and that agreement across a full spread is rare to witness. This is real, and it is happening, and the cards left no room for doubt about your future. If this reading confirmed what you felt inside, come back and tell me when your miracle finally arrives. Your miracle has its own breath and timing, and it does not need your permission to land. Thank you for sitting with me through every part, and thank you for trusting what the cards revealed. Your presence in this reading made it stronger, and the cards responded to your energy with undeniable clarity. I felt the weight of this reading from the start, and I am honored you trusted me fully. What was spoken today does not expire, and the truth inside this reading stays with you moving forward. Take this with you and hold it close tonight, and know that what comes was written for you. The first card is the Ten of Cups, and it arrived for your near future with deep confirmation. The Ten of Cups says emotional fulfillment is not a distant dream, and it forms around you soon. This card confirms a union that brings lasting emotional peace, and the happiness it holds feels unshakably permanent. What arrives for you is not temporary comfort, and the Ten of Cups says it reshapes your world. You and this person reach a point of alignment, and that moment carries the weight of something complete. The near future holds a conversation that shifts everything, and the words exchanged will settle lingering wounds. That exchange arrives without force or pressure, and it flows with the ease of two souls finally exhaling. The reunion forming in your near future is not fragile, and it